Do you still chase the pump?
The pump is always out there. And you always have to chase after it, yes.
Welcome to the Pump is Full podcast today. Just me and Hud on the show. Let's start off with a bang and talk about Browns offensive lineman facing 20 years in prison.
It's 20 years?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know it was 20 years.
Oh,
it says on the headline.
He smuggled how much
157 pounds
of marijuana
to Mexico.
Yes, this is big.
He was like the second overall pick a couple years ago. Not a couple years ago. I think it was like 2014. But
if the Browns were already not having
I think he was their best lineman too.
Yeah, I know,
that says something.
They were having struggles on the O line, so this is really gonna hurt. But that's just that Browns winning culture we've all come to know and love, and really excited to see how they play this one off. Moving on from there, let's kind of like go into more of the just couple more updates on player news. Jordan Reed has been released by the Redskins. I think he's probably gonna retire.
Yeah, like I don't think he's gonna like automatically retire because it seems like the type of player that wants to keep playing, but no one's gonna sign him, especially with like all of his medical issues. And
he's
I feel
still in the concussion protocol.
I feel like no one's gonna have like the heart to be like try to put him back on the field.
Oh, I don't even know if he can get on the field. What? Oh, what, the Chiefs winning the Super
Yeah.
Bowl? That seems like a good topic. The Chiefs won the Super Bowl.
Congrats.
Congrats to them.
It was kind of an anticlimactic game for the first three quarters, but then the fourth quarter they made up for it.
Kyle Shanahan can't win the big one.
It was nice to see that. But yeah, the Chiefs came back, double point deficit. I think that happened every playoff game they were in.
They were down like significantly every playoff game at one point.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes is going to be the highest paid player. I think next offseason's when he can get breaded up.
When he get the bag.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really going to be interesting kind of to see where they go from here because, I mean, I don't know.
I think they're set up to continue to be good. It's weird because, like, obviously they'll have Mahomes. They're going to have him for a while. And I don't feel like they need top-level pieces around him. Like, you don't have to go get, like, the best wide receiver, the best running back. Like, I feel like they need guys that kind of just click with them. So I feel like they'll be the type of team where it's like, honestly, they'll probably be the favorite going into next year. But, like, I could see a scenario where they just lose early in the playoffs or something like that. But like, they could also make a run for the Super Bowl. They're not like super dominant, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Which sounds bad saying they just won the Super Bowl, but
Sammy Watkins gets his vacation. He deserves.
Sammy gets his year-long vacation.
But I'm also I'm pretty happy for Andy Reid. Like,
yeah.
He deserves it. He went like 20 years.
21 years.
21 years. Like, that's just insane for not being able to like finally get the big one. And he's like a well-respected, well-liked guy within the NFL media, within like the NFL like universe. So it's good to see him finally get that win he deserves. So kind of going on from there, Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, I haven't been following this a ton, but so I saw he deleted all of his Viking stuff off his Instagram and I think Twitter. And he's had, like, rumblings of, I guess, wanting to move on. I don't really know what his reasoning is. Because, I mean, Kirk Cousins, like, we've trashed him on the pod. But, like, he's not – definitely – there are a lot of quarterbacks worse than him. And, like, he's kind of, like, in that, like, upper middle range. I don't think that's his issue. I don't know if it's, like, a money thing. I don't see it. Like I said, I don't really know.
He might be in, like, some sort of argument or something. Like, I don't know if you remember, but, like, there were kind of rumors of him wanting to get traded. And being traded,
in the season.
During the season.
I feel like that's a good system, though. I feel like there's probably more of this than I know, but I guess we'll see if he gets moved. I mean, that probably won't happen, if I had to guess. Everson Griffin opted out of his contract today.
So is he gonna be on the move too?
Crazy Eyes might be on the move.
That's big because him and Danielle Hunter. Were
there's actually this free agent class is like a solid group of like pass rushers and stuff. You have him, Clowney, the dude for the Chiefs,
Frank Clark.
He might be the dude. He's defensive tackle.
Oh fuck, I can't think of his name.
Number 95. I don't remember his name. But yeah, it's a solid group. I feel like a lot of them probably get re-signed by their own teams. Would you like to talk about
Oh, this is big. So I wish Zach was actually going to be here. We are going to go record at Zach's, but he got the flu, so he couldn't. But Jameis got LASIK eye surgery. Also, Chris Jones was the player that Hudson was thinking of. I just remembered it. Jameis Winston got eye surgery, now has 20/20 vision, and he's about to fucking light up the league this year. Just wait on it. Remember these words. Come back here and what?
With what team though?
I think the Bucks could re-sign him. I know we're kind of like looking at the news article for it, but I think that they honestly might stick with him if there's like no better option.
If I were them, I would tag him, which I'm pretty sure they can do that this year. I'd franchise tag him. It'd probably be a lot of money, but like if he goes out and balls,
he's gonna feed Evans and
exactly.
Godwin.
Like if he goes out and balls, then he probably deserves the money that you'll like pay him after the franchise him, and then if he's a bust and they don't want to deal with him, they could just move on from him. Like I don't know what a better option would be because like I feel like the Bucks have a good enough team where they don't want to take like a rookie quarterback like Herbert or Fromm.
I was literally they don't want a Herbert, Fromm, Eason.
You don't want one of those because like James better than them, and like you don't want Dalton. I feel like I would definitely take Jameis over Cam Newton, and I'd take Jameis probably over Phillip Rivers also. Like I don't see a better option.
And they want someone like, and also kind of thinking of that, I don't think they want like I'm saying this now, and I could be wrong, but they don't want like Rivers or Tom Brady because they don't want like one of these older quarterbacks for a year or two.
Well,
they want someone who's going to stick for like 5 years.
I remember Zach was talking about it. I think the only thing that kind of makes sense about Phillip Rivers is like Bruce Arians is, I think he's Pete Carroll might be the oldest coach, but Bruce Arians he's one of the two, like one of the handful of like oldest coaches, and he looks old like compared to, especially like to like Pete Carroll. I think he might be the oldest, but I guess if they took a Rivers, that kind of puts him in like, okay, we're trying to like make a big run right now type of timeline. But I feel like you'd rather do that with Jameis. I feel like Jameis just fits like Bruce Arians' offense better. Just like toss it around, throw long bombs. Like I don't know.
I mean, I completely agree with that. Like Jameis is probably gonna want a bag, and it sucks. But I mean, a lot of the other quarterbacks out there, like if you don't draft one. A lot of the free agent quarterbacks who aren't like Dalton at like Dalton's level, like Tom Brady, Rivers, like anyone like Cam Newton, they're gonna want a lot of money, and I mean I feel like you might as well just get someone who knows your system. And
I could be wrong too. I feel like besides like I feel like Jameis hasn't ever had any like real injury issues because with Rivers, Brady, and Cam, let's just go with them. They've all had significant injuries,
or like two of them are
injury problems. Like old, yeah.
Rivers and Brady are old. Newton's had like some pretty bad injury problems.
Exactly. Like I think Jameis been pretty healthy, and like honestly, I feel like his eye surgery, like everyone's joking about it. I feel like this will legitimately like it should improve his game, like noticeably, at least like somewhat. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And you at least know what you're gonna get with like you're gonna get 4,500 and like 30 touchdown passer out of Jameis. There's gonna be some turnovers, obviously, but you can.
They need to get him. Actually, there's a lot of Bucks talk for Zach not being here. They need to get him they need a real running back down there. Like I don't know if you take someone in the draft. I don't know if you go out. There's a big free agent running back. I can't remember. I forget who like the big name in free agency is. I don't know if you go trade for someone. They need a legitimate back that's not a mixture of Peyton Barber and
Ronald Jones.
Yeah, Rojo. Yeah, I don't. That's enough for the Bucks, though.
I know. We really went in there and we don't.
Zach will enjoy that.
Yeah. What? Oh yeah, AP.
The Redskins picked up AP's option.
Honestly, like
he can still ball. He's still playing because he's bankrupt, but he's still a solid player. I don't expect the Redskins to be much better next year. The division, I guess, is kind of open, but I don't really believe in Haskins. I feel like AP is probably more of just an insurance type of thing. He's still a solid back.
One thing I saw, so you're speaking of players kind of getting picked up. So first of all, I love like NFL free agency and the offseason. Like I know NBA's is probably like significantly better, but
I like the NFL's more too.
NFL's like NBA's has a bunch of big splashes, but I don't think it has as many like key pieces.
Mhm.
And like for example, Greg Olson going
That's a
going to
nice.
Seattle.
That was a nice pickup.
Will Dissly, he was pretty solid, but I think and like hopefully he'll return to form.
Well, because he got hurt, and honestly, I don't think Seattle's run a lot of 2 tight end stuff. I don't really remember, but they could definitely like. I feel like that's not a hard thing to work into your offense. You have like 2 really good tight ends.
And Will Dissly is like a relatively new player. Greg Olson's like going to be a great
mentor
veteran
him
to put
stuff.
in there.
Yeah, Olsen he can still ball. I feel like that's going to be that was a really nice piece for the Seahawks to pick up.
What are your thoughts on Drew Brees?
He's back. He was on the mountain. He announced he was coming back. I mean, as a Falcons fan, this sounds weird, but I'm all for it. He honestly seemed a little washed up last year. I know they made the playoffs and won the division, but like Teddy, he was 6-0 and he was a starter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's. I mean, I think Drew Brees will still be good. Like, he'll be probably like one of the upper quarterbacks in the NFL next year. But it's not like, oh damn, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So what else we got over here? I'm just kind of like, we have all these news stories that I'm just like we're commenting on, and this is pretty good.
What do you think's gonna happen with Taysom Hill?
Someone
And Teddy. Let's start with Teddy. I think Teddy is going to get
Teddy.
He's definitely leaving New Orleans, especially now that unless somehow New Orleans convinces him like, hey, Drew's gone.
Are
in
they
a year.
both free agents?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think he'll get a chance to be a starter somewhere. I don't know how good he'll be, and I think it depends on the team he goes to. Because I feel like New Orleans is kind of like a good set for him if you're just talking like weather-wise, because like you're in a dome and you're playing mostly warm places. I've seen some stuff about him going to Chicago. I know he's played in that division before. And he was I think 6-0 as a starter. I don't see the hype that much, but I honestly don't know where he's gonna go.
Neither do I.
I could see Carolina maybe trying, but they still have Cam. There's a lot of moving pieces.
I know. I really think like someone's gonna pay him because there's so many teams that are gonna need a quarterback. It's really gonna be interesting to see where he goes. I kind of think like the Bears, or I think Teddy could end up on the Bucks if the Bucks don't want to. Like,
I think if they don't want to pay Jameis, I feel like that's probably their first option.
Teddy's like the complete opposite of Jameis.
Exactly.
Where like he's not Teddy's a.
He's gonna be super super safe about everything. He's not gonna make like the big. Like the 50-50 balls like Jameis is. It's going to be very...
You're not going to be stressed out about whether he throws like 10 interceptions a game. Like you can really trust him. Although,
but I don't see like... I feel like there's like some quarterbacks, I just don't like see them like winning in the playoffs and winning a Super Bowl. Like I can't close my eyes and like imagine Teddy Bridgewater being like a playoff winning quarterback.
I don't know. I completely agree with that. I don't see really Teddy doing that unless like for some reason he just has like the 85 Bears or like the 2000s Ravens, like some like elite
Seahawks defense
yeah.
A couple years ago.
Yeah, if they have some elite defense, and then like especially if he's going to like the Bears, they don't have any real good offensive weapons. Like anybody who's just like, God damn, they're significantly better than everyone else. So he would need a lot of like some good pieces on defense or on offense too.
What do you think? Where do you think Rivers is going?
Rivers
the next.
I mean this.
So I don't know if we talked about this on the last podcast, but he officially moved his family to Florida. I don't remember what the reason was from that because he's not from there. I don't think his wife. I think his wife's family is. I think I read that, but it might also. I don't know what the reason was. So he lives in Florida. I don't know.
I can't see the Jags taking like a risk on him because
the Jags because they have their quarterback situation right now. It's either
Foles or Minshew.
Like honestly, I could see the Bucks if they don't want to pay Jameis. I guess that would be their next option.
But that's like what I'm saying. I can't understand like
and
wanting
the Dolphins
Rivers
aren't going to take
because
him.
Rivers is turnover prone, especially. He's gonna you're gonna have to pay him a lot. Might as well get Jameis Winston, who has the already knows the playbook, already kind of fits the system. Like no need to.
Do you think there's any chance like Rivers retires this offseason? Like he just doesn't see anything he likes. He's like, I'm done. Or you think you could see him just taking whatever.
He's such a hothead competitor. I can't see him going out like he's not Eli retired, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. He's not like Eli where like Eli. I'm not. This isn't me like shitting on Eli, but Eli's not like the big hothead like like asshole.
He doesn't need the
competitor
spotlight
that,
and
yeah,
stuff.
like he was like, I'm not going to be. I don't think I'm going to be a starter. I think he kind of was like, kind of in a sense where Peyton was like, yeah, it's my time. Like Peyton just won a Super Bowl. He could have theoretically came back, but he knew like he probably wasn't going to be the starter. In
Well, like that defense
Denver.
had to carry him.
Yeah,
to the
he
Super
like
Bowl.
he just knew like it was his time, and kind of Eli looked around and was like, it's my time.
I can see Rivers. Like I don't. There's no obvious choice, I guess, where they go, like where he goes, because like he's 100% out of San Diego. Like they changed the Twitter avatar to him, everything. They were like, "Thank you, 17." I guess I'd be curious to see like what the betting odds were on this. I'd guess the Bucks are probably at the top of that.
Mm-hmm.
You could probably throw Tennessee in there, but I don't. You would have to be like, would we rather have him or bring Tannehill
There's
back?
no reason, honestly, for Tennessee to not get Tannehill either.
Like, I understand them wanting to get Brady because he is a step above Rivers. And it's like, oh, we're bringing Tom Brady. And, like, I could see.
And he's are you talking about Los Angeles bringing in?
No, I'm talking about Tennessee bringing in Tom
yeah.
Brady. I could see that. But, like, I feel like if you're between Rivers and Tannehill, I feel like the money is probably about the same. I guess I would just go with, I don't know. I just, there's no team I think of. And I'm like, that makes sense for Rivers to go to right now. I feel like once other like domino pieces fall, then there might be like a clear, obvious.
I think
team,
Rivers might be one of the like lighter people to leave.
Mm-hmm.
I think I literally just thought of it. I think it's very plausible we could see Brady to like the Chargers because I think the Chargers would probably be dumb enough to like just spend like a whole bag on him.
Mm-hmm.
But also he's like a California guy or California boy, so he'd want to go play back in California for like his last season or something like that. So I
feel like that's definitely the type of place that he'd want to retire when he's done.
Mm-hmm.
I think he'll be back in New England though, but that's just me. I feel like because I was reading about it yesterday, so I guess what they're doing is like Robert Kraft's like, okay, we're all gonna go our separate ways, and like Brady, you can go look at places, and like I don't know what the Patriots are doing, but like I feel like they're both just gonna end up back with each other, and like
it's very possible.
Yeah, that's like the prediction I would go with.
So kind of I'm trying to there's so many quarterbacks. I feel like there's so many teams that will have a new starting quarterback next season. I think it's like probably more than we've seen in a while. At least
another question. It's kind of about the Tom Brady thing. Okay, let's say because it's already been rumored that the Raiders are going to try to drop a bag, go after Tom Brady, and like it makes sense. Like you're moving to a new place. Like they get so much buzz that they came to Las Vegas with Tom Brady. Let's say they miss out on Brady. Do you think they keep Carr, who actually had a solid year last year, or do you think they try to again? I don't think they draft someone. They might draft someone. Do you think they either like if they miss on Brady, you think they keep Carr? You think they try to do something else?
I think it'd be interesting. I wonder what's their draft spot.
Probably late or not late, like late right before like the playoffs because they were like a borderline playoff team up until the end.
I think it's to be interesting to see because Gruden's definitely the type of guy who'd want to like make a big splash going into.
He doesn't like Carr. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah, he hates Carr. Mark Davis is gonna want to like have everyone be talking about his team. Like, there's a reason they hired Gruden. There's a reason that they like what they did, like with their draft picks and everything. All right, they're the 12th pick. So
they're the 12th pick.
Mm-hmm.
How do the Falcons have a higher pick than the Raiders?
What are their Falcons?
They're like 17. Whatever.
16. They went 7. You guys finished 7-9.
We beat the 49ers though. That game was lit. That was worth it.
Not
but really,
I mean, they're in a position to.
The Raiders?
Yeah, they're in a position where they don't get Brady.
But I feel
they
like
really don't want Carr. They could get Herbert.
I don't know. I feel like they have.
Chargers could get Herbert too. Now that I'm looking at it, the Dolphins are going. The fact that the Dolphins are the 5 seed is kind of crazy.
What do you think the Lions are going to do?
All right.
We'll have more draft coverage and all that getting closer to.
Zach says they're going to get Okuda, and I could probably see that because they've been talking about moving Slay, I think. Or they already moved Slay.
No, they haven't, but they've talked. That was like a report yesterday.
Who's the other?
They moved.
He went to Seattle. I can't think of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Someone, one of the like 20 people out there is gonna be like, oh, it was whoever. I can't remember who it was. I just remember Slay was pissed about it. But they're talking about moving Slay, and that's why they want Okuda. Speaking of Tom Brady's on the TV right now.
You think there's any chance though they take a quarterback and then trade Stafford?
I mean, I've seen that. I don't know why they would move. Like, they have literally.
I feel like Stafford would want to go.
They've done literally nothing ever in their history of their franchise to do anything for Stafford. Like, they've never had, like, their run game's always been, like, absolute ass. Their receivers have, like, they had, like, one of the best of, or.
They made him retire.
He's not the greatest of all time, but he's one of the, like, best players. If only he got to play more, then we could move him into that category. But Calvin Johnson was an absolute stud. They've never had, like, a defense where you're like, wow, that's a great defense. I mean, it's just kind of they've never really done anything for Stafford.
If I was Stafford, I'd probably.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be mad about leaving if I was Stafford, but I don't know. I really don't know. Other than Okuda, or if they trade Stafford, I mean, I guess they're gonna end up. They would draft what's his name? Tua. I guess they would pick up Tua.
What's your opinion on the whole Joe Burrow rumors that have gone around? People advising him that he should pull an Eli and demand not to play for the Bengals. What's your viewpoint on this?
I think that's just all like, I do think it's all rumors.
I want it to happen just for the chaos, because obviously I don't remember the Eli stuff because I was really young. I feel like, especially now with social media and stuff, it'd be like a wild story and like kind of interesting. I don't think it'll happen because he's from Ohio. I feel like he's probably pretty close to his family, and like the Bengals, their team is not terrible. Like, I realize that sounds bad because like that makes no sense because they were the worst team in the NFL. They're the first overall pick, but they have solid players. You have AJ Green coming back, Tyler Boyd, Joe Mixon. The offensive line, I'm pretty sure, is kind of garbage.
It's shit.
Yeah, but like there are pieces there. I mean, you're in a hard division. They need to play Pittsburgh and Baltimore, and then I don't know what Cleveland's doing. But
I mean, yeah, I don't think
he's going to. I like the idea of it, and I understand if he did do that, but I don't think he's going to.
I mean, I can't think of an like necessarily, unless like he just really wants to play for Miami. But if he like informs that, then Miami, if like
see, that's the thing. I wish I was older and remembered the Eli stuff, because I guess I don't. I feel like I have to do research about this, but I wonder if when Eli did it, did he say like, oh, I want to play for New York, or did he just get like dumped in New York? He's like, okay, I'm fine being here. I don't know if that's like, because I know John Elway pulled one of those.
That was.
I remember that. I remember
he's like I think he could.
He was like, he said he can go play baseball, or he's gonna go to Stanford. He was gonna go. No, he couldn't go back. He was gonna go play baseball. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like the idea is interesting, but like you said, what does he say? Like, oh, I want to go to Detroit? Like, no.
Yeah, like some of the like you have to think realistically. If he does there has to be another team lined up, because I'm sure the Dolphins, their Dolphins are probably thinking, we have all these draft picks, we're gonna probably end up getting Tua, and we don't really care about the difference between Tua or Burrow. So
I guess if you're Burrow though, and let's say like you really, I guess because the Dolphins make more sense. I guess like if you really click with the Dolphins, and you were like, this division's basically gonna be open in like a year or two, because like Brady will be gone. Miami again was another team that was like, they were not very good, but they won some games. Like, they have some pieces. I don't know. I think he'll be a Cincinnati Bengal come April, but
I do too. I don't see realistically any reason for him not to be there. And like my big thing is he's like an Ohio kid. Like
exactly. That's
like Eli wasn't from L.A. like or San Diego. I mean, like he wasn't from California, so there was no like real reason for him to even like want to go out there. But Burrow is from Ohio, so like there's no reason, and he hasn't said anything about it. There's never been talk of him saying, no, I don't want to go to Cincinnati. It's just other people in the media saying, oh, he shouldn't want to.
I feel like,
and this is coming from someone who doesn't
want him to go there.
Like, I hate the Bengals. Like, I don't want them to get Burrow. I feel like
this kind of goes back to what you said about Eli earlier. I feel like Burrow's such a competitor though, that he kind of likes the idea and like the challenge of like, oh, I'm gonna like help Cincinnati, and like I want to be the first overall pick. Like I want the competition. Like I want it to be like harder, if that makes sense. And not like a knock on Eli, but kind of like you said, he's more laid back. He's like, oh, I don't want to go there. You know what I'm saying?
I honestly think that I would not be surprised if it's more likely that the Bengals fuck up and draft Tua over Burrow than Burrow demanding a trade.
Mm-hmm.
Like in my mind, that's probably more realistic, just because of how shitty like the Bengals front office is. But yeah, honestly, I think he sticks with it. And I think the draft is going to be very exciting too. Granted,
It'll be a good draft. Yeah.
my team doesn't have a first round pick, but I think for Minka Fitzpatrick,
Oh, it was worth it.
it was worth it. All right. I guess now is the time to talk about our sponsors and shout outs and everything. I want to start off with giving an anti shout out to the Houston Astros. The fact that, and this is not a baseball podcast, and I don't really like baseball, but I'm trying to get into it. But the fact that every single person on the planet, aside from Astros fans and the commissioner, think that they should get stripped of the trophy is insane. And the fact that the commissioner doesn't actually want them to strip him of the trophy because he's just calling it like a piece of metal, like that's so stupid. That just like devalues the trophy. And every single batter is going to just get fucking nailed with fastballs.
I can't wait for the baseball fights. Baseball fights are the best when the benches clear out. Yeah, they're gonna get popped a lot. I think the over under was like 86 batters get hit throughout the season, which seemed very high. I don't know, maybe sprinkle some money on the under on that, but like, you never know though. I mean, people are gonna get pissed off. I read something yesterday. I think like it was like on the TV. It was like notable series, but like the Yankees in early May definitely will be a fight during that. I can't remember what else, but yeah, I don't.
This is going to be a really good summer for me to try and get invested into baseball.
You already have a team to hate.
Yeah, I know. I already hate the Astros. I mean, it's going to be fun. Like, I actually genuinely, like, as someone who's not a baseball fan, fucking hate the Astros because just how much they've been, like, very blatant in their cheating and just been so unapologetic in it. It's insane. I want to give a shout out to Zach offering his apartment, and
shout out Zach.
Unfortunately, he was unable to be here, but this Bucks talk we had earlier in the episode goes out to you.
And shout out Will.
Yeah, shout out Will.
He's been in Oklahoma.
I know he's
back now.
He is back. Yeah,
Okay.
He got back I think Friday, so like a couple days ago. But
and shout out Carl.
Yeah, shout out Carl. It's unfortunate that we had so many members of the crew missing, but we've been holding it down. Yeah, shout out Kroger Deli again. They never do me wrong. Always do me well. Love to be sponsored by you all. Throw the bag at me, and you will get the biggest reward. The biggest thing you can do for your company is sponsor me to talk about your deli every day for the rest of my life. All right. I will be right back, by the way.
Okay.
I'm gonna pause this. All right. So also wanna shout out AB for apologizing. I don't to the Steelers. Don't think he meant it whatsoever. I think he's just trying to.
You think we'll see him back in the NFL?
No, I still don't.
I think we will. I don't know that
he's just so
done
far.
So much stuff.
There's been like so much shit going on with him.
Is he legally cleared? Like, is that all that stuff going?
I honestly think he might be legally cleared, but like he's just such a head case, and he's a great player. But I mean,
I don't know what team would take him right now.
Neither do I. And like if he played, so I saw some like Steelers fans, and they're like, if he played for the men, bring him back. I don't know. Like, it's almost like a pride thing at this point for a lot of teams to not even sign him. I don't know. I don't think their NFL's necessarily locking him out. I think he, like, kind of locked himself out.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I feel like he's so talented. I feel like we will see him in the NFL. I don't know where it's going to be. I don't know when I'm going to get it. It'll have to be within the next year. Because, like, the longer you go, the longer you're not going to be back in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we will see him somewhere. I feel like there'll probably either be a team that'll need like want some type of attention come like off season summertime.
Oh, that's the Raiders splash play they need. Bring him back.
That was literally the first team I thought of. Honestly. I was like, he already played there. And I don't see like I'm trying to think if there's like a team that needs a receiver to, like put them over the top. Chicago, but he would tear Mitch up. I don't think that would be good.
Yeah, you have to think. So the only really place that he could go and it would work would be a like a good franchise. but a good franchise isn't going to take him.
Exactly.
And if he goes to a bad franchise with a shitty quarterback, he's just going to like tear up that shitty quarterback. Like if he goes to the Bears with Mitch, he's going to fucking beat the shit out of Mitch there. Like it's just not going to happen.
See, there are teams I just thought of like they could work, but I just don't see them taking. Like I could see like Baltimore maybe take a flyer on them.
I don't think. I mean, they're doing so.
They're doing good. I could see the Giants needing because they kind of have like a big hole.
But he's going to beat the shit out of Daniel Jones there.
Exactly. That's the thing. There's
See,
no scenario.
What I'm saying is, I can't see like John Harbaugh being like, we have this great chemistry going on in Baltimore, this good run game. Like if Antonio Brown,
I thought of someone that would do it.
Some receivers aren't going to get their touches. So
Jerry Jones would do it.
Jerry Jones would do it. I will agree with you there. That's a team that would do it. But there you go. He'd like eat up Dak. Like.
I don't know. I feel like Dak could stand up for himself.
Okay, I'll give you that one.
I think we'll see him back in the NFL. I don't know where it's going to be.
Yeah. I don't know. Going to be interesting to see where he goes. There's been some more hype going on with our boy Lynn Bowden, so that's always fun. It's going to be I'm really interested to see just where he goes in the draft.
I'm excited for him. I think if I had to guess right now, it'll be early third round. If he really, really interviews well, combines well, I could see him slipping into the second round. I feel like it has to be a team that has to have like a good like idea of how they want to use him. Like I think if it's a dumb franchise, he's not going to get the best out of it. But I think if he could go to a team like I know you probably don't like this, but I've seen all mock drafts. Like a team like Baltimore that's done like some type of
I mean, I wouldn't like that, but I would agree with you. In what
some
you're
type
saying.
of innovative stuff. Like a team like that, like I would hate this. Like New Orleans has done innovative stuff. Like a team that's willing to like use players that don't really have a position but can still play.
Oh my God! All right, the free agent running back you're thinking of, was it Derrick Henry? Did you know he's a free agent?
I knew he was a free agent, but they're just gonna re-sign him. I thought there was someone else.
Okay.
Like there's no way that
Melvin
Titans let him
Gordon's
walk.
a free agent too.
That was it. It was Melvin Gordon. It was Melvin Gordon. Yeah.
I'm actually looking at like this thing. It's like you have $10 to spend on free agents. Who you taking? It's so interesting to see.
Who else is a free agent?
Gordon
won't be back. In
This
Los
is
Angeles.
there's some big names like
Zach said he wanted the Bucks to sign Melvin Gordon.
Shaq Barrett is a free agent.
Yeah.
That could be a big pickup for someone. He showed he was a monster. AJ Green's still technically a free agent right now.
I feel like if Cincinnati definitely drafts Burrow, they're going to bring him back because like that'd just be such a safety net for like a rookie quarterback like that.
Kenyon Drake. He played well at the end of Arizona.
Kenyon Drake.
He won't get
solid.
the back. I don't think he'll get the.
I think he'll get re-signed by Arizona, and I think they're going to cut David Johnson to save money. I can see David Johnson ending up in Tampa because he has a connection with Bruce Arians.
Mariota definitely out of Tennessee. Tannehill staying in Tennessee. I think that's a good lock.
I think Mariota will get I don't think he'll get a starting shot. But I don't know. I could see like a team kind of desperate, like want to change it, but I feel like he's gonna be a solid backup and the type of guy that like if someone got hurt, he could do really well and then maybe earn himself a starting spot. But I don't think anyone's gonna be like, oh, we're getting Mariota as our starting quarterback.
Hunter Henry is a free agent, but I think that's
he's had some injury problems. But I feel like LA will probably re-sign him because he's solid.
I would think that too. Who else? I'm just kind of going. Jadeveon Clowney. I think I would not be surprised if Seattle re-signs
I feel like
him.
they kind of need a pass rusher, and he had a pretty good season, especially the second half, even though he was kind of banged up.
And then one more just to go off. Emmanuel Sanders. I think that's also a thing where I think San Francisco might be able to re-sign him.
I feel like they need a bigger. Like they definitely would not take an Antonio Brown, but I could see them drafting a receiver. I feel like they need another big receiver.
They got Debo, and Debo's like a good fast player.
Debo's like Lynn though, where he's kind of positionless a little bit.
They need a big body receiver.
Exactly. Yeah.
They need I'm just giving this as like a very obvious example. Like if DK Metcalf was on the team, like they need someone who like when in doubt they can just throw it up and he'll go get it. Just someone like that.
Yeah, I think
to stretch the field.
See, like I think if Cincinnati let AJ walk, I feel like AJ Green would have a pretty big market.
The free agency is just insane this year. The more I kind of look into it, I don't know. I think I don't know. Now the XFL is kind of exciting.
Yeah, what's your thoughts on it?
DC Defenders, kind of because of like the whole PFT thing. but Cardell's kind of cool too.
Cardell's gonna earn himself a spot on an NFL roster.
I know, yeah.
I like it. I hope it keeps like going. I've not like a good amount, but I'll have it on. I'll watch it a little bit. Like I said, I feel like it's good for football that it's a thing because like they're like kind of like revolutionizing like the rule change. Like I wouldn't be surprised if the kickoff thing gets adapted to the NFL just a little bit safer. I kind of love and hate the like interviews mid game. Like I kind of like it's cool to see like the players like raw emotion, but if I was a player, I would hate that. Like I get off the field like after something bad happens, like there's a mic in my face. Like I wouldn't like that. I don't think the NFL will adopt that thing. I guess it's kind of cool. I'm trying to think what else they do different.
I like so the NFL, like a lot of people call it like the no fun league, and I would like to think of the XFL as like the extra fun league where like they're not gonna get mad if you do like celebrations. They're not gonna get mad if like you're like say like you can pretty much say whatever like and kind of you have more freedom as a player, like where the NFL like really thinks of themselves like in such a high standard that their players can't do this or can't do that. Like players can really like kind of at least express themselves and like have like swag like the NBA allows them to have.
I think I guess only time will tell. I hope it stays around, but we'll see. It's definitely on a better path than the AAF was last year.
Yeah, the AAF couldn't pay their players. Like
No,
that's why it folded.
That was their issue. See, the XFL has
Vince McMahon.
They have the money, and I feel like they have like good people in charge, like Oliver Luck. And I feel like the cities they picked, kind of the fan base are really behind it because like I've seen on Twitter, you've seen it. Like DC's, had like huge crowds. I just saw on Twitter earlier that St. Louis has their home opener this weekend, and they sold out the arena. They're like the dome they're playing in, so that's exciting. It'll be interesting to see. I hope they don't expand too fast because I feel like that could hurt them a little bit.
I think there's definitely some like markets they could hit that could kind of be big for him.
See, I think they gotta be like kind of smart with it. Like I understand them putting it in like Los Angeles, but like I don't really know why they put it in Seattle because like the Seahawks have a huge following, but I guess they thought like they really like football, give them another one.
Ohio would like be a big market team.
I'm really glad St. Louis got one because like those fans were supposedly really good when the Rams were there. I'm trying to think of like see like there are some cities I would just stay away from. Like Atlanta, they're not gonna care about if you put one. What about like Louisville, like a city like that?
I was gonna say throwing a team in Kentucky would could be like a good idea because I mean like Louisville or at least like the city of Louisville, the state of Kentucky, like a lot of like football and or a lot of college football and basketball games are always like well attended. This state likes sports, and I mean it could be.
See, I feel like a city like that. I feel like San Antonio could be like a good city. Yeah, but I hope like when they do expand, they don't expand way too fast. But I hope it turns like it keeps going.
It honestly, like kind of we were talking, it might be a better idea to give teams or give XFL teams to cities that don't already have a team. So don't already have an NFL team, and that way you can kind of capitalize on another market of all these players who, like me, I'm a Steelers fan from Kentucky, but it would be really cool if I had like a football team that actually based in Kentucky I could cheer for. I mean, just look at all these just kind of look at all these untapped markets and see what they can do. But no, I think the XFL is a good thing, and it's a good opportunity for a lot of players to make NFL teams.
Like I said, Cardell's gonna get a job. I don't know if it'll be this offseason, but he will get a job. But you saw it from the AAF. Can't remember what the quarterback's name was. Someone got a backup quarterback job.
Like Garrett Gilbert, I think you're thinking.
Garrett Gilbert was another one. I can't remember his name. But like, people are going to get jobs from this. I wouldn't be surprised if Austin McGinnis, the old Kentucky kicker.
Oh, I like that they have betting odds up for the XFL games because
really?
They'll like show like over-unders and stuff like that. And I mean, that's a big thing. Like sports gambling is like gets bigger and bigger every year. Like there are more people who enjoy it. I mean, it's a free market to get into. Like people are going to bet on your games. Might as well kind of like throw out stats and stuff to help interest with it. There's nothing wrong with it, and I think it's a good idea. XFL kind of knows what they're doing. I think the hype is has helped them out.
I think the hype's helped. I know a lot of people like in big media have talked about this. I want to see how it goes, like how like the hype and like the viewership goes when it comes like March Madness, Masters, start of base. It might be over by the time start of baseball. Like when like other kind of big sports ramp up and like NBA playoffs, like if the XFL can kind of still hold its own, because if it does, I feel like it's going to be successful. Because like there are people that rather watch football. Like it'll show there are people that would rather watch football than watch March Madness, watch the NBA playoffs, all that. So I guess only time will tell about that also. But
Let's go into real quick the new CBA that's been announced.
okay, I think you've read about it or seen it more. It just got released. I haven't looked. You looked at it more than I
So, like, the big thing with it will be extending the season to 17 games. So teams are going to play an extra game, and they'll add a team to the playoff. And so the current system is like first and second seed get buys, third and sixth seeds play, and fourth and fifth seeds play.
It.
6 teams go in. It's like honestly, a really good number. And the main reason the NFL wants to do it is for money. Like, they're going to get a significant amount of revenue. They're going to have 2 extra games on that wild card weekend. And so the new proposal will have 7 teams make it. So you're going to have 2 and 6 play. Oh, yeah. What is it? Oh, 2 and 7 play, 3 and 6 play, and 4 and 5 play. And then the 1 seed gets a bye. But I think this kind of promotes mediocrity.
See, okay, yeah, I was actually listening to a podcast last week, and I don't know if you saw this, but baseball wants to actually expand their playoffs also, which is a terrible idea. I don't like the idea of expanding playoffs in general.
How many teams are in? So how many teams in the MLB? 30.
30 teams, and there's three divisions in each like conference, or there's like American League. Actually, there's 3 things. Each division winner makes it. And then there's like the wild card, the like single elimination playing game, and then so I guess how many teams is that? I don't know. It's not a lot, but they wanna expand, and it kind of reminded me of like this from the NFL. I don't like the idea of expanding the playoffs because one, it kind of makes it feel like less special. Like I realize there's more like football, baseball to watch, like sports in general. Like that'll get viewerships, but it encourages mediocrity because they were like the podcast listeners, they were talking this like a baseball perspective. They're like, it's going to give these franchises, I guess for like football, for instance, kind of like these like middle of the road like franchises, like instead of them like going all out and like paying free agents to like make it in the playoffs and try to win a Super Bowl, they're just going to do the bare minimum, be like, oh, we can slip into that last seed and like sell our fans, hey, we made the playoffs. Like, that's just going to, like you said, it's going to encourage mediocrity, and I don't really think that's good for the sport.
The Steelers this year with Duck and Mason holding it down would have made the playoffs.
Exactly.
And like, as a Steelers fan, I honestly was at a point where I'm like, it'd be cool if they made the playoffs, but I'd honestly prefer them not to, just so we can get, like, a higher seed and everything.
Well, because, like, at that point, like you said, like, I know you probably would have, like, enjoyed the Steelers game. Like, it would have been, like...
But they just, like, they would not have
They wouldn't have, like... They wouldn't deserve to be a playoff team, but, like... Look at them compared to, like, I guess, like, Houston or Kansas City. Like, they weren't on that same level. And it would literally just be, like, them going to the playoffs and then the ownership being like, hey, we made the playoffs, like, selling that, like, hey, this season was actually a success in, like, the grand scheme of things.
That Minka Fitzpatrick trade, there's a chance it might not have been made if, like, there's this extra seed because you don't. There's, like,
it's
one less game you have to win.
It's teams not gonna wanting to, like, push it that, like, next, like, limit because of this. I'm not a fan of this.
And a lot of players, at least from my understanding, would not want like a 17-game season because they're like it's physical. Like football is just a taxing game. Like that's hard on them. There's always injuries. I mean, this is all literally being proposed for money.
Yeah. So it's not official.
No. So
wait. So did the owners propose this? Not the players?
No. So I don't remember exactly like how it got proposed. All I know is
supposedly the way like these negotiations worked, I remember in the past, like the owners will come with a list of like demands or stuff they want, and the players will come with like a list of demands stuff they want, and basically it's like bargaining. They'll be like, okay, if we want this, then you guys can get this. It's kind of like a back and forth type of thing. I don't know what the players' demands are right now.
So what it got voted on and it didn't pass as of right now, and that's because like not all the owners, not all the owners voted for it. Like it didn't pass through, so it's not like an official thing yet.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still like a very realistic thing that could happen like this next season. So,
I'd be curious to see like the owners that are really pushing for this. I'm sure it's probably like the Jerry Joneses and
yeah, it's like
big names.
I wouldn't be surprised if like someone like Dan Rooney of the Steelers, or I'm like Robert Kraft of New England, or like, no, I don't want this. But then you have the fucking like people who can't get in or pushing for it.
I can see Mark Davis pushing for this.
Yeah, this is something. But it just
poorest owner in the NFL.
It's just not something that I think like the NFL needs. I don't think like a lot of fans are really like, oh wow, I really want this. I think it's something that got pushed because they want more money. Like, and you can be like, oh, it's more football, but while like it'd be cool to have a couple more games, I don't necessarily need that because it, like you said, it makes it less special, and I don't want to devalue the sport.
Exactly.
All right. So I think that's honestly a good stopping point. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you next time.